All right. Hey, everybody. Today in my affiliate marketer interview series, I've got Brian Brewer. He's really well known. You probably don't need an introduction for him, but he's a more than a two-time platinum legendary marketer legend. And he's also got his own products. He's a really successful affiliate marketer. He's done a lot of different things in the make money online space. And so he's got some experience that he's going to share with us today.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on here today. I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who is jumping on, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching live or watching a replay, just say hi. And you can always tag me on Facebook if you have any questions after the fact, and I'll see those and try to get to them. But yeah, thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate it, Brian. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I had a good, busy day today. And here we are. Now it's 5 o'clock. We're gonna sit down, have a little chat about affiliate marketing. And I decided to come outside, sit next to the pool. It's beautiful in Texas, so as you know, and we got to take advantage of these days that aren't 60 and aren't 100. So we'll enjoy it today.
Right on. Well, that's cool. Well, do you want to tell? I mean, I know that you probably get this kind of question asked a lot, but would you like to tell a little bit about your backstory just for people that don't know you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'll just kind of give the shortened version. I've been doing this a little while. So I started back in 2012 with affiliate marketing. And at the time I was living in San Diego, as I just kind of mentioned and alluded to. I live in Texas now. My wife's family is from Dallas and Houston area. So we moved here in 2015. Prior to that, we were living in San Diego, and we just had our first child, and I was working in the restaurant business in San Diego. So, as any father would do, or new father would do, I panic and, start thinking about the future and all that good stuff. So, I had a college degree. I went to Michigan State University and graduated and all, but I never used it. So here I was, 32 years old, working in the restaurant business, doing well. I worked at nice restaurants, but I didn't really know what to do because I wasn't going to make more than the 60 or 70 I was making in the restaurant. That just simply wasn't going to happen. San Diego is expensive. And if I were to go back and start using my degree, I would have had to take a $20,000, $30,000 pay cut to kind of start over, because even though I was 32 years old, I'd never worked I've never used my degree. So I was like, shoot, I'm really stuck here. Yeah. So I knew I had to start a business, right? I mean, that was just like obvious at that point. But we weren't, I wouldn't say we weren't broke by any means. We didn't have anything left over at the end of the day. So I didn't know how I was going to find the extra money to start a business, right? It's like, shoot, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I knew I had to go online. I knew how to start quote unquote internet business, which is pretty much all I knew at the time. So I did this Google search, right? How do you make money online? And, at the time, I think my goal was to make like $20 a day. It was like, man, if I can just make $600 a month to pay the cell phone bill and the cable bill, that'd be cool. I came across affiliate marketing. Sounded good because I knew I could start fast. I didn't have to invest in creating products. I could promote other people's products, and it just made sense. So I kind of jumped into it. It was October of 2012 is when I really first started. The first things I really did was create product review blogs with WordPress, and I would promote products, software, things on Amazon mostly. So I'd create niche blog sites wrapped around different products that I could promote on Amazon, and it was good. And I learned SEO and learned a lot of cool things. But the thing that really was tough is, blogging, there's a lot more work that goes into blogging than people really realize. I mean, it seems simple. Hey, write a blog post, right? But if you're going to do it well, if you're going to see success with it, there's building backlinks and building out your socials and reaching out and just doing different things to get more authority on your site. And it was a ton of time. I was starting to get burned out after a few years of doing the blogging stuff. I started seeing success in about 6 months, and I eventually got those blogs, a couple different product review blogs, up to the point where I was making like $2,000 to $4,000 a month, which was cool. And I was super excited about it, but I wasn't really getting over the hump. That wasn't enough to quit my job. And because now I had multiple blogs going, and I just couldn't really scale any one blog past $2,000 a month. And I was working full time in the restaurant, so I was like starting to get burned out. And I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I couldn't give up on that income stream. Right now, we had become reliant on this extra income stream. Well, in the process, we moved to Dallas, and I continued doing the same thing, continued blogging and continued working full time, and just kind of did the blog thing when I could. And then one day I was working at the restaurant. And this was a pretty nice restaurant in Dallas. You might know of True Lux, probably. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right in uptown Dallas. They serve good seafood, stone crab, and good clientele in there. So I was doing pretty well. But one day I'll never forget. I was working, and if you've been to the True Lux in Uptown, Joy, you can see he kind of overlooks the parking lot. The restaurant is on the second level, the bar is on the lower level. And so I was overlooking, and I was looking out the parking lot, and then all of a sudden we see this Ferrari 451 pull in, a yellow one, and into the valet. And the weird thing about Dallas is I think there's more like supercars per capita than any other city, including like LA, because it's just crazy. Like Dallas loves their supercars. So it wasn't crazy to see the Ferrari pull up. But what happened is I noticed this like 25-year-old kid get out of it.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. All right, cool. And so he comes up to the restaurant, and sure enough, he happens to sit in my section, and I'm waiting on him, and he's nice, and he was with his girlfriend or whatever. And after the meal was over, he handed me his credit card, and I go to pay the or close out the check for him, and I was still working restaurants this time. And I read the name. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to remember that name, and I'm going to figure out like what he does, because I was looking for opportunities, right? I was ready to hustle. So this guy's 25, 26, 27 years old. He's got a Ferrari. I'll follow. I'll do what this guy's doing. And so I gave him his card back and didn't think anything of it. And he left, and he tipped well. I think he tipped 100 and something on the $250 tab. So that was like awesome. And then later, after my shift was over, I Googled the name, and it was Alex Becker. And I don't know if you know who Alex Becker is, but he's run millions of dollars worth of YouTube ads, and now he's doing his software that tracks ads. And he's basically kind of one of the big guys in the internet digital marketing space. And so immediately what I did is I kind of dove into what he was doing, and I found out a lot of his business was through YouTube. And instead of like, I don't know what he was promoting at the time on YouTube, but instead of like listening to what he was saying, I was kind of paying attention to what he was doing.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of where I kind of developed the concept of don't do what the guru is telling you to do what the guru is doing. And I really saw how he was using YouTube to drive traffic, and then he was kind of retargeting that traffic. And I was like, okay, this seems like this is powerful. So this was about 2016. I sold my blogs. I made like $30,000-$40,000 from selling the blogs. And that was kind of the confidence I needed with the little nest egg, if you will, to say, hey, cool, I'm quitting and I'm going full time. And what I did is I went to YouTube and I created a system around promoting the Shopify affiliate program, because I had done a little bit of drop shipping back in 2015.
Okay.
So I knew it was kind of going to be a thing, and I knew the process. Was like, cool, I could teach this on YouTube, and I created a course, and I gave it away for free, and it basically taught people how to do drop shipping, and gave it away for free on YouTube, and monetize the, of course, Shopify affiliate commissions, and then also subsequent products via email. And that was the formula, and it took off. And within a year, I was making $50,000 a month. I was like, my life completely changed. And since then, I've kind of done different iterations of that. And that's and I got into selling my own courses and stuff in like 2018, 2019, and I hated it. And so I went back to really a full-time affiliate marketing model in 2020. And I do a little mastermind that I charge for, but I don't even really promote it. Other than that, I give everything away for free. I don't have a course for sale. I just kind of leverage the Legendary Marketer program. And, I kind of hit that mark again where I was doing, I think in October of 2020, I did like $48,000 or something like that. I was like, okay, cool. This is the formula. Give value, build your audience, help people, and promote a good affiliate product. And it's just kind of the stress-free way to go. But the big shift was going from trying to stay behind the scenes and then going out there and doing the hard stuff, creating the content, putting your face out there, becoming the face of your brand. And more important than ever is to actually try to help people, educate them, empower them to make a positive change through the purchase of a product that you're promoting. So that's kind of the short story of how I got to where I am today.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And I brought this up in other interviews. It's kind of based on a Zig Ziglar quote that I have always really liked. And it's, if you help enough people get what they want, then eventually you'll get what you want. And, and that's something, I really noticed, I I started my journey in this, back in, June. I had lost my job. I moved down to Dallas, relocated here to work for like the number one AV integrator, in the world.
Mhm.
I was like, this is the opportunity, this is so great. And they had a merger, and then COVID happened, and I found myself without a job. And I mentioned this in my legendary interview last week. This buddy of mine who's an entrepreneur, he's got multiple sources of income, probably like 10 sources, or he may even have more by now. But he said something to me, and this was before I even lost my job. But he told me, he said, he had a really unique way of looking at things, and at a different perspective, and he asked me one time, he's like, well, you're going down there, you're down there, you've got this big job, and you're, working for this number one company. And he's like, but what if you lost that job? And he told me, he's like, would you think about this? He's like, would you rather have 10 sources of income that pay you $1,000, or would you rather have one source of income that pays you $1,000? And at the time, I just didn't really comprehend that until it happened to me. And then I was just like, whoa,
Right.
I mean, it just, it affected everything. And so
you realize how much control you don't have when you're relying on that one source that is controlled by someone else, right? I mean, I'm sure you're a good employee. I'm sure you know your stuff. It's just things happen that are outside of the control of perhaps you and your employer. And sometimes, things go bad. And really, that's what it's all about, I think, is the money's great. And everyone talks about money, and that's what gets the attention on the TikToks. But the security is what everybody's after. I mean, the security, the freedom, and the control, really, I think is what everybody's after.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing, the security for me is, high on my, in my why list, like why I'm doing this and why I've got this drive to do this is, the security for me and my family. And then also, the freedom, like I said, the freedom is just priceless.
Yeah.
You see those posts where, you work for 40 years at a job, and then you have 10 years of retirement or something. And it's like, wow, I want to do more with my life, than work for some other company. I mean, eventually hopefully I can scale up to where I'm at, able to, provide and support for myself with just this and multiple streams. But it's, you got to have goals.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, I work hard, I still work hard. And I take my business very seriously, even though I'm just an affiliate marketer. But the fact of the matter is, if something comes up and I want to bolt for a week, and, because the kids, when we had the snowstorm not long back, the kids were off school that whole week. We did whatever we wanted that week. We played in the snow. We went to different places. You know what I mean? It was just like, we had the freedom to do that. And that's what's really cool about it. So, but that's, you mentioned that in I think even more important, or at least my view on more important than having multiple streams of income, is having the audience, right? When you build up the brand, like Ben Portner says, branding yourself is key. I think he's over on, he might be on, I don't know where he's at, but he says, empowering people is where it's at. You know what I mean? He's on Facebook. When you do build that brand, when you build that audience, when you help people, then you build some sort of loyalty there. And guess what? Those fans that you build, they will, if you hit hard times, they will be there to support you. You know what I mean? They're not going to give you handouts, but if things get a little rough, the people you help just say, hey guys, I'm running this little program. That can be a little bump in income that you might need someday. Or if you recommend something that you use, guess what? They're going to buy it. That can be, the bump in income that you need at a certain point, because, things run good from time to time, but things also, it's just like any business, things don't always run as good as they're supposed to, Yeah.
Definitely. That's another thing too, like building the relationships. And that's something, I've seen you, you're big on providing value, and, you build these relationships with people. They trust you. They value what you offer to them, and I mean, that's what it's all about, really, to me.
Yeah, I think so. And I think really what I found out kind of the hard way is that's kind of in line with my style. And it's really hard. That's the beauty of social media and social media marketing. You have the ability to reach billions of people. Okay. Well, if you're doing so organically through content, then guess what? The algorithms are going to work in your favor to bring people in who like you for who you are. So if you just go out there and you be your authentic self, yeah, it might take a little while to build up that following, but then it's always easy going forward because you can just show up. Like I don't have to prep for this interview. I've prepped for this interview over the last 9 years of affiliate marketing, but I just come out here and I'm myself. And is everybody going to like me? No, but guess what? Enough people are to where I can support my family and run a business because of it. And the reason I kind of bring that up is because I see other people who kind of burst on the scene. Like there's a couple people in Legendary Marketer who kind of really come in and are doing crazy numbers right now. And they have a little bit different style. Yeah. And if I tried to emulate them out of panic or competition, then I will not do as well as if I stick with my way, if you will, because I built this audience to expect certain things. And because I did that authentically to begin with, I don't have to change, and it's easy. I mean, that's really what's cool about it.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about like what would you do? Like this is just a question, for anybody out there that's kind of curious about this or looking to get into this or wants to start an online business, but they're not sure where to start, or I guess the risks involved and stuff. I mean, what kind of advice would you give somebody that's considering getting into affiliate marketing?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think it has to be affiliate marketing, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, because I think there's like basically 5 different arms of any business. There's marketing, there's sales, there's product creation, there's customer service, and fulfillment, right? So when you're doing affiliate marketing, you can really leverage the affiliate partner. And that means you as a beginner only have to focus on the marketing aspect of it. Plus you can kind of look to their messaging, their proven sales copy, and you can kind of get an idea of what sells. And it's kind of like the shortcut. So that's the first thing. And then second, what I would say is anybody who's thinking about getting into affiliate marketing, first, don't try. I'm a big proponent of seeing what's going on in the space and jumping on that wave. Basically ride the wave of the buzz that's already created. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is don't go out there and try, like, I know you hear all the time, choose your niche or choose your niche, right? If you are super passionate about something, then fine, by all means do that. But let's be honest, most of us are not super passionate about something that can make us money, because if we were, we would have already been doing it and we wouldn't be looking for this new thing. So go out there and say, hey, I'm going to be a marketer. I'm not going to be a fitness guru who makes money. I'm not going to be a make money. I'm going to be a marketer, and I'm going to market. And the easiest way to market is ride the buzz that's already created. So if you look at some of the things I promote ClickFunnels, I promote Legendary Marketer. I'm fairly new to Legendary Marketer. Most people don't realize that, but I saw the buzz that was in the space. And those are my number 1 and number 2 earning programs. I'm fairly new to ClickFunnels affiliate program, to be honest. But I see the buzz. I see what's going on in the space. And it's so much easier, especially when you're a new affiliate marketer or a new marketer or a new content creator. It's so much easier to get discovered because of the buzz. And it's so much easier to get in front of buzz than it is to create it. So if you're going to create your own products, you got to build up a bunch of hype for them. And it's really hard to do if you're brand new. But if a bunch of people are already buzzing about this thing, then you just have to get in and get the click.
Yeah.
Also, people are searching for things like Legendary Marketer. People are searching for things like ClickFunnels. Well, guess what? No one's searching for Brian Brewer. Maybe now, but you know what? When you're first getting started, no one's searching for you. So you have to, especially if you're going to be an organic marketer, you have to get in front of search somehow. You have to get in front of the buzz. And the way you do that is by reviewing products or talking about the products. And then from there, it's all about, like I said earlier, once you figure out your product, you see the buzz, you're like, cool, I'm going to jump on that. Next thing you got to do is you got to learn the product. Like so many people, like they try to market and they don't even know the product. I mean, that's like a car salesman trying to sell a car, and you ask him like, "Hey, is this a V6 or a
Yeah.
6 cylinder or a V8?" And he goes, "I don't know."
Yeah.
You'd never buy that car from that person, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you got to learn the product, understand how to use it, and then really just kind of teach. Is the way I do it, right? Like teach. Like you don't have to be the expert. So if you're promoting Legendary Marketer, you don't have to be the marketing expert. You just have to get people ready to feel confident enough to team up with the experts. And really, it's about giving people confidence, showing them why this is a good opportunity for beginners, showing how it changed your life, right? Relating your stories to it. And, you know, that's kind of the process, right? Like, I know it wasn't A, B, C, and D, but if you kind of followed that, like, that's kind of what I did when I started promoting Legendary Marketer. It's like, okay, there's the buzz, learn the product, do what it says. Okay, cool. Now we teach the product and they make the recommendation. And that's just kind of what works. And then of course, model success and see what's going on.
Well, you know, that's the thing, you know, and I totally agree with you on that. Like, it's definitely like there's nobody out there probably searching for Joey Colley, you know what I mean? But there's tons of people searching for Legendary, and it is a great program. And, you know, they're even refining it. You know, they've continued to, you know, refine the training and update everything, which is, you know, really important. It just shows, you know, they've just got a really good brand. And so I agree. I mean, it's totally, you know, why wouldn't you want to promote something that, you know, works, that produces results and is already kind of, you know, has the wave or the buzz about it.
Yeah. And if you look at like Facebook groups, ClickFunnels, I think they have 250,000 people in their Facebook group, probably more now. Legendary Marketer has over 30,000 people in their group, not their affiliate group, but their main group. And so that community, right? Like that can be a selling tool. You know, when you're trying to market the products, like not only can it be, like I said, a selling tool or an added benefit, you know, the community, but also, hey, you can kind of figure out a real creative way to pull testimonials out of there. You can leverage success of other folks that came before you. And it's just, there's a lot of reasons why you just find the products with the buzz and jump on and put your own spin on it, of course. But yeah, the results too. Find something that's getting people's results. And Legendary Marketer is, and ClickFunnels is, and then, you know, I think that's key.
Yeah, definitely. Man, excuse me. Well, do you want to tell like a little bit about like what you're promoting and what your program is? I know there's probably a lot of people here that are, you know, that have been in it or seen it or gotten results from it. Yeah,
I mean, you know, definitely. I mean, so I always say if you can't find me, if you can't track me down, I'm not doing a very good job here as being a marketer. But you know, I have the Facebook group. I have the Affiliate Marketing and Passive Income Facebook group with Brian Brewer. I think we have about 5,600 people in there. You know, if you know, I do have a little mastermind that I run, and generally, you know, if you're on my list, that's where you might see an invite, or you can always reach out to me through that. But yeah, you know, that's kind of what I'm doing these days. Really, I'm just trying to build the brand, help as many people as possible. You know, jump on interviews whenever someone asks, and just try to really simplify the process and hopefully bring a nugget or two of information along the way. Obviously, I'm pretty active on TikTok because it's such a low hanging fruit opportunity right now, which is incredible. And you know, I'm leveraging that to hopefully not only grow my email list, but grow my Facebook group. And I even started an Instagram, which I've never had Instagram before, but I figured why not? I got all this traffic. Let's get that going and just try to build up the brand, help people. And guess what? Make some Legendary and ClickFunnels commissions along the way. So,
yeah. Well, that's kind of what I've been doing too. You know, I started off with TikTok, and, you know, that's where I found you. And, you know, I just started there, and this was back in October. You know, it's taken me some time to build that up, but I'm starting to like redirect my traffic, you know, over to a YouTube channel, and, you know, where I can provide a little more value, like you and, you know, Jamar, and, you know, you see a lot of these affiliates.
It's kind of the formula. Yeah, it's kind of the formula. And one thing that's cool about TikTok like, I don't know who's watching this and who's going to watch this in the future, but there may be people watching this who are kind of hesitant to get on TikTok or think it's too late or whatever. But the cool thing about TikTok, especially for folks who are just getting started, it's a really good way to practice, refine your messaging, and get feedback quickly. Because if you go and you start on YouTube, YouTube's super powerful. But if you're just creating videos on YouTube, you're not getting any views right away. So you don't know if people are responding good or not. You don't know if people are interested. You don't know if you have the right messaging. You don't know if you're using the right hooks. Whereas TikTok, that's what's cool. It's like instant feedback. Oh, that video didn't do well. Okay, that messaging's no good. Oh, that video went viral. Okay, that messaging's good. And then you can use that. And that's more of what I'm even using TikTok right now. I started running a couple Facebook ads today. YouTube ads today to try to scale up cold traffic. I haven't done cold traffic in months. But you know what I used? I used formulas that worked on TikTok. Now, I don't know if these ads are going to work or not.
Yeah.
But once again, you're getting that instant feedback from TikTok because, hey, this organic reach is crazy. And I've also used it to test my funnels and my email follow-up sequences. I've been constantly testing my email sequences because I can get so much traffic through TikTok.
Yeah.
Is it going to convert as well as other platforms? Of course not. But you're getting so much traffic that you can test. And that's really a hidden benefit there to anybody watching. Like, that's the cool thing about it, because it's not going to last forever. But right now we can optimize. And that's why I decided to start up cold traffic again, because I feel like my email sequence for Legendary is pretty dialed in. And I'm like, okay, this is working cool. Let's take another whack at it. And it's entrepreneurship. It might work, it might not. But we'll give it a whack and we'll test and we'll fail and optimize and move forward. So that's what it's all about.
Well, and that's something you bring up, a super good point. And I mean, it's super important in this type of business, as with any type of business, is testing. You got to test to see what works. And like, when I create a funnel, I've got to create, I typically create a couple and then I'll test them. And, if I run ads to it through, depending on what I'm doing, I'll have it alternate ads between, my funnels. And then,
Right.
I can kind of see, oh, well, this one looks like it's going to convert a little bit better. So, it's the same thing, with your video content. I mean, obviously you can see that, like I said, I mean, just testing is so key in what we do. And it's so easy and quick with TikTok. So
yeah, and don't be afraid to try new things. Like, obviously, get the training, get the proven concepts, but also, model success, but also, hey, don't be afraid to try a new thing, because if you stumble upon something that nobody else is doing, but it's working, I mean, it's like blow up, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. It's insane. That doesn't mean you should swing for the fences every single time, but don't be afraid to throw something a little weird or a little different in there, and see if it works. And if it does, cool. And if not, boom, on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what's hard for beginners is you want to see results. But here I am. I've been doing this 9 years and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's like it's still a constant test, and I
think you have a pretty good idea.
Well, yeah, I kind of got it figured out.
No,
but yeah, I mean, I'm wrong more than I'm right. You know what I mean? Not with stuff I share, because when I share stuff, it's been proven and tested. But when I try new things, most of the time I'm wrong, and that's never going to change. So embrace that from the beginning. And I know it's hard, and I know everybody just wants the results as soon as possible. But it's just like it's all, you got to keep yourself motivated. So you're always trying to do more. So it's always kind of frustrating. It's always, kind of stressful. It's always kind of demoralizing when something that you thought was going to crush it doesn't. It's like, well, shoot. But let it roll off your back and grow thick skin and jump back in.
Well, that was one thing that stuck with me from one of your videos. Like, I can't remember exactly when you did this, but you were talking about the Valley of Despair, and that totally stuck with me, through this whole time. And I remember, I mean, I was just like, geez, I've been doing this for, 60 days and I hadn't seen any results. And I'm just like, I'm watching all these other people, make all, and I've mentored a little bit with Jamar Jones, and he's been really amazing. I mean, he's a rock, that guy. He's just, he's solid. And, and he's told me, don't compare yourself to anybody else. And, things take time. And he was like, just get through this valley of despair, and he referred back to that as well. And I mean, that was just something that really, really stuck with me and kept me going, and I've gotten out of that, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to be there again.
Yeah.
But I know I can get out of it. I know that I've got the motivation, and I've seen some, the results. So that's another thing too, for anybody that's new out there, just getting started, and, you may pop off and in 2 or 3 weeks, start getting some high ticket sales, and that's awesome. But, if you don't give up. I mean, everybody's journey is different, and, that's the thing. Everybody's different. And so you just have to stick with it. You just have to stick with it, keep consistency, keep pushing forward, and, the results will come.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm big into affiliate marketing for some of the reasons I stated earlier, and I really do believe it's the best place to start. But let's be honest, every business model, drop shipping, selling on Amazon, starting an agency, they all work, right? Every business model works. You just got to make it work. And it's hard. And some people see success faster than others, but you also don't know what they did behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, that when I first started promoting Legendary and I kind of burst onto the scene, everyone was like, man, this guy's out of nowhere. And they didn't realize I've been doing. Then they were like, you've been doing this since 2012? Like, yeah, you haven't heard of me, have you? Well, guess what? That's kind of the way it goes. It's like overnight success, 7 years in the making. And obviously I've seen success for quite a few years now. But yeah, I was new to Legendary Marketer, and it still caught people by surprise. But it's cool. The little side note, Jamar, you mentioned Jamar, and he's great. And I've watched him for a long time. He was actually my first ClickFunnels referral. So if you go back into my ClickFunnels affiliate account, and it shows, maybe it shows like the people you referred to ClickFunnels. Yeah. Referral number 1 was Jamar Jones. So
I think he's told me that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's done it the right way. And he really has. And I talked to him the other day, and he's like we all do, had success and then gotten off on the wrong track and got back. But that's why he's such a good teacher, is because he's been through it. And he is a rock. You mentioned, I don't know if I show this really quickly. I don't know how much time we have, but let's see if I can share my screen. I don't know if it's going to allow me. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, it's going to be kind of a little weird here for a second, but let me make sure I have this up. Okay, cool. So this is kind of what you were referring to here. And
are you sharing?
Yep.
Okay.
Did it pop in, or can you bring it in there?
Let's see. There we go.
There we go. Okay, cool. So this is kind of what you're talking about when you're talking about the Valley of Despair here. And I think this is what you're referring to, yeah?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So we call it. I've seen this from other places, and from other, quote unquote, content creators or influencers or whatever. We call it the emotional cycles of change, and this is really important for beginners, because when you first start something new, you see all the good stuff, like, oh, this affiliate marketing, this guy's making 30 grand a month. That's awesome. I don't even have to create my own products. So you see, drop shipping, you're like, holy crap, I can just, ship stuff from China, and that's awesome. And then, you see all these things, and of course, us marketers, we ruin everything. We're talking about all the good things. So you have this uninformed optimism, like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be my thing. Mm-hmm. So let's say you decide, you're going to do affiliate marketing. You're like, yeah, this is great. I can make 40 grand a month promoting other people's products. And then you start to dive into it. You start to learn more. And then you also all of a sudden get to informed pessimism. You're like, oh, shoot, I got to create a website. Oh, shoot, I got to write emails. Oh, shoot, I got to create content. Oh, no. And you start to get like, man, this might be a little bit harder than I thought it was. And then as you continue on, you start to get into it, and things are hard, and you're not seeing any success, and you fall into the Valley of Despair. And what happens here 9 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, is you go back up and you search for that informed optimism. You're like, oh man, affiliate marketing's not working. I'm going to go try drop shipping, or I'm going to go start a social media marketing agency, or I'm going to go, become a life coach or whatever. And then you're just going to go through this same cycle again and again and again. And most people do. But if you push through the Valley of Despair, you start thinking, okay, cool. Well, creating TikToks isn't that hard. I can probably drive traffic with that. Oh, if you use ClickFunnels, I guess building a website's not that difficult. Okay, well, I can use some templates from the affiliate, partner I'm with. Okay, cool. So you start to learn more and more and more, and you're like, okay, I start to know more. I think I can do this. You get informed optimism, and then eventually you hit success. And that's where we all want to be, right? Like that's the thing. But we just got to get through the valley of despair, because our natural reaction is to go back and seek that comfort of uninformed optimism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
that was a fun training. I put that together on a whim, but people have referred back to that quite a few times. So I guess it's impactful. So
Yeah, it definitely impacted me. I actually brought that up, and I actually another affiliate. I don't know if you know who Nate Bockers is. He was
I've seen him. Yeah.
He was on Wake Up Legendary last week also, and he brought that up. That was something that made an impact on him, and his journey. And so I thought that was pretty cool, because I was like, wow, that I could totally relate to that, because it did, same thing for me, and I remember being there just like, I told Jamar, I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this, or, maybe this isn't for me. And he's like, just stick with it. And he kind of, encouraged me, and, that, and your training was like, okay, I just got to get a handle on this. I just got to keep on working, keep on pushing, and, I'll get through this. And exactly what I did.
And it's comforting to see those things, because then you realize that you are not unique in your struggles. And that there's something comforting in that. Like, okay, cool. Other people are having this same problem or experiencing these same setbacks. Like, okay, cool. Then we can get through it. Because if other people have gone through it and gotten through it, then you can get through it as well. But just kind of a quick side note, like that's a perfect example of a training I put together on a whim. And you test it, and all of a sudden it clicks with people. That's when you put things like that into your automated sequence. That's when you add things like that to a course if you create it. You got to let the market tell you what's going to work. And that trading just happened to click, and so now you can find that in my course. And if anyone wants, like I say, course, it's my free course. You can get it. I'll shoot it over to Joey, and you can just tag him if you want free access to it. Just kind of a marketer's tip. I've never charged for that course a day of my life, but I tell people I do, because it gives it more perceived value. but anybody can get it for free. Like I said, I'll shoot Joey a message and let him know how to. I think he might even know, but I'll let him make sure he knows how to give people free access to that. And
awesome.
Yeah, so that's that.
Well, man, is there anything else you want to add? I don't want to take up too much time of yours. I mean,
I don't want to just keep talking for the sake of keep talking, because I'll lose people's attention. But I do appreciate you bringing me on. And I know you're doing a lot of the right things, because I see some of the people showing up. Nathan Earl just popped on with a comment. And I saw Ben and Nate, and I've seen you around. You know what I mean? I know you were on Wake Up Legendary on Friday. It's like, you're doing the right things. You're showing up. You're getting your name out there. And I know everybody wishes they made more money than they do at any time. But you're doing the right things, so keep going. And I know you're helping people out, so that's great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks, Brian.
All right, cool. Thanks to everybody else who tuned in and watches the replay as well. And you can find me if you need me.
Awesome.